What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XYO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. This is at the request of Max, who decided to be polite today. Thank you, Max. We're at 1 cent right now. If we're looking at a low to a high, we're at the golden ratio, finding some support down here, rejecting the 0.5, a little bit of a double top action there. Yes. We are probably going to go a little bit lower. I would anticipate that the average altcoin drops about 20 to 30% from their current prices, roughly, right? And that could change. If the average altcoin pumps up from here, a lot of these predictions will be thrown off. But wherever we are in the price, by the time Bitcoin really does start to drop down, whenever we're back like below 84K or something like that, I would assume something of like a 20 to 30% drop right from there. So 20 to 30% from here. Maybe you find a double bottom, maybe you go a little bit lower. I don't know if you hit the 786, but we should consider it as a possibility. By the way, it's totally fine, XYO people. If you go to 0065, it's fine. That's fine. 0062, that's fine. It doesn't what the heck? Oh, sorry. 0065 to 0066. My bad. Somewhere in that area, that's fine. It's a little bit above average, but that's okay. Sometimes the coins that move above average to the upside move above average to the downside as well. So I'm anticipating anything from like a double bottom look, a slightly lower low look, to potentially even something down to the 786 at 0.00662 to 0.008363, something in that area. And then from there, we can recover. On a daily time frame, you're looking pretty damn bullish. You're looking pretty good. I think, if we look at this here, from a high coming down, high, just like that. You are breaking out of your time frame, which is encouraging, or your downtrend on the daily time frame. That's encouraging. That doesn't mean that you have to move up immediately, right? But it's often a good kind of premonition of good things to come. If we look at the 4 hour time frame here, you do have a little bit of an uptrend. You're getting overbought, not getting oversold. That's nice. Giving acknowledgement to the idea that we probably do move up a little bit more. It wouldn't surprise me if we did, and that would be nice, because if you move up a little bit more, that 20 to 30% drop, that would definitely incentivize this to be a double bottom, if not even a higher low instead of a lower low. So that's kind of nice. If you can move up above 1.2 cents or somewhere around 1.3 cents to 1.2 cents, that'd be very encouraging, I think. I'm not convinced that this is the low, but I accept it as a possibility. Okay, I definitely do accept it as a possibility. If we're looking at this here on a daily basis, let's go here, low to high. Let's see, you're at the golden ratio there, low to high. Let's go from the high to the low here. No, that's not the high. To the low, there's the low. High to low, right there. High to low, 236, double tap. In these kind of situations, it's very, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. What's XYO's market cap? Let's see. It's not that low, is it? It's actually kind of low. Okay. 144 million is kind of low. Okay. It's possible that you don't go above these highs. Oftentimes, when you pierce through the 236 like this, before going below this low, you would at least interact with the 382, which is also still something that you could possibly do, right? From lower high perspective, you could come down to this area. Understand what I'm saying here is essentially, if you close above 1.26 cents on a daily basis, you're likely not going to stop until you go to about 1.6 cents. That's what I'm trying to say here, okay? That would be your target move. And if you saw that before the drop, that's cool. You're still going to drop with the rest of crypto. I think crypto is going to drop 20 to 30%, and maybe drop even more if you had a bigger pump. But likely at these prices, anything around here or higher, when you drop, you're likely not going to see something lower than this. So that would validate this as a low. Essentially, closing a day above 1.26 cents, what that means to me is that this is a valid low. Yeah, okay. But you don't have to, because you are low market cap. Sometimes the rules are a little more flexible. They're less rigid, right? So what I mean by that is, just because you've wicked above it doesn't mean you have to go to the 382. We're really looking for that daily close to confirm that, right? It's very possible you could come back up here and find resistance. And even then, still, even getting to this area of about 1.2 cents, 1.3 cents, somewhere in that area, it's completely possible that you don't go lower than this low. You find some kind of double bottom or a higher low there. So it's hard to say. Being on the looking at the daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame, I'm a little bit bullish on this thing. So it does make me think you want to go higher, right? The 1 hour time frame is neutral, but you haven't really done a lot on the 1 hour time frame. If anything, it's bullishly leaning. So I think you do move up. I don't really know. I guess the call right now would be, you're at 1 cent, essentially 1.07 cents. The call would be to move up to 1.2 to 1.3 cents, if not higher, maybe as high as 1.6 cents or above. And And then from there, we'll see that 20 to 30% drawback with the rest of the markets, and you probably don't get a lower low. At this point, I'm really inclined to believe that this is the low. But if you don't see this move up, if instead you just keep moving sideways or down even, whenever the drop comes, you will see a slightly lower low, or a dramatically, not even that dramatic, but a significantly lower low. Yeah. If we're talking about all-time highs, right, and where you're going to go on the next move, and I do think that that's going to happen by the end of May, if not by the end of June, being at about 1 cent now, 1.4, let's just call it 150 million, okay, $150 million. If we're at $150 million market cap, actually, that's the end of cycle stuff. Let's talk about the next move real quick. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place, you guys. I'm sorry. High to low. The next target area, we're at 1 cent now. From the current price, the very technical next target area would be about 5.6 cents, which is about a 5.3x. Okay, that's the very next technical target. I don't believe you stop there. I wouldn't be surprised if you stop somewhere between there and 8.5 cents. I wouldn't be surprised 8.2 cents, something like that. Maybe you see a 7.5x to a 5.2x, something like that. I could see that happening. It's very possible on this next move that you see a higher high, that you go to new, would that be new all-time highs? Yeah, that would be new all-time highs. It's completely possible that you do that as well. If this is your low, and let's do that. Yeah, sure. If it is your low, because I'm kind of under the impression that it might be, but if it's not, it's okay if it's not. Yeah, you might go right there to like 12.5 cents. You could see like an 11x move, something like that, or even something that's just above your all-time high, something that's greater than an 8x, maybe a 9x move. If you go from the high to low there. Let's see. Does anything else line up with that real quick? High to low here. High to low here. Right? 188.62272. And with the 2272 right there at 10 cents, you do go just above it. And there's that 12.5 cent area there. Yeah, I could see that happening. Okay, so all this to say, my expectation, I know there's a lot of lines going on here, but I need it just to keep my mind straight here. About a 5.4x is what I would anticipate at the minimum, and about a 11.5x move, something that's around 12 cents at a maximum. That's 12.5 cents at a maximum. Yeah, 11.5x at a maximum. That's what I would expect on the upside. So 5.4x to a 11.5x, that's the expected area. 12.5 cents to 5.7 cents, that's the expected area to go to on the next move, which I'm anticipating will be by the end of June, if not by the end of May, somewhere in that kind of time frame, after we have our last kind of little hoorah to the downside here. Now, when it comes to the upside, being at about $150 million market cap, you do have 100x potential. That'd give you a $15 billion market cap at 100x. From here, 100x is at about $1.07. And $1.07 is right between the 1618 and the 1886 here. So if you are anticipating 100x, my thoughts would be anticipate more, because it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to stop at $1.07. It would make much more sense to either stop right at about 68 cents or at $1.70 to $2.50. It's very common, absurdly common, from a high to a low perspective, from a cycle high to a bear cycle low perspective, that in the next cycle, if you do grow and you do see new all-time highs, to stop somewhere between your 1618 to your 2272. Either at this level specifically, or just above this level specifically, or somewhere in between. So whenever I say if you're thinking about a 100x, you should think higher, I'm just saying that from the current price, a 100x, to me, it doesn't make sense that you'd stop here. It'd make the most sense that you continue to go. So if you're thinking 100x, really you should think 156x. You should think a 230x, something like that, or potentially as high as a, could you do a 570x, a 500x? Oh, I have a hard time seeing it, but yeah, it could happen. It's an acceptable outcome. It really could happen, but I doubt it. But yes, it could happen. Let's be fair. I don't think it does, but yes, it could. If I had to guess, I would think something between probably 68 cents to $2.50 is where you'd go. At a bare minimum, what I would expect is something that's probably around 34 cents, 40 cents, something in that area at a bare minimum. And even that is outperforming the average coin. The average coin, again, you guys, is expected to do like a 25 to a 30x from their current prices when it's all said and done by the end of the cycle. It's very uncommon to stop at the 1414. It's much more common to actually, I shouldn't say it's very uncommon, it's just less common. Okay, it's more common to stop just above it. So this is where that 40 cent price comes from. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, the middle of the black here. Okay, but with this, again, 100x move, it wouldn't make sense to stop in the middle of the black here, because it's very common to stop at the 1618, or if you break through it, to go to the next area. So minimum, absolutely most minimum target I can concoct, unless you don't see a new all-time high, which I think that you will. You look like you're more bullishly poised than a lot of cryptos are, or at least more than the average coin. You performed better than the average coin on this pump. I think that you'll perform better than the average coin by the end of the cycle. Minimum target that I can come up with the most genuine of, in my heart, belief would be about a 40 cent price at about a 37x there. I like the idea of at least going to about a 61x, 62x, something around 68 cents, or very possible, it's very possible to go to $1.70 to 250. I like these targets as well. Is it possible to stop below? Sure. I just don't like that possibility or likelihood. Is it possible to go above it? Sure, but I don't like that likelihood either. Something if I really had to guess, between 68 cents and 250 is what I'm thinking by the end of the cycle. Okay. By the end of May, by the end of June, we're looking for something that's between 12.5 cents to 5.7 cents. That's the end of this next move, and that's all I got for you. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.